So basically, I got hooked on heroin in the mid '90s, and to support my habit, I went straight to 16th and Mission. That was a spot to go to. Tenderloin was nothing but gafflers, but 16th and Mission had a lot of cool Mexican cats. But you have to remember, 16th and Mission all the way to 20th was run by a Sereno gang. They had a couple names, but when I was down there, it was Cons, Cons, something something 19th Street. Uh, by the way, they've all been under, they were all indicted many years ago, and they're doing murder beefs, all kinds of shit. And I became friends with these dudes, man. But after maybe 6 years, well, after many years, after 6 years in on 16th, I'm starting to do my own thing with Chiba, and of course the Serenos don't like that. They try taxing me, and just so everyone knows, they were taxing the Pisces too. So, but here I am. They wanted to tax me. They knew where I lived, and one of them SROs right there on 16th and Julian, so I couldn't escape them. But they were cool. They backed me up in fights. I helped them a couple times. But then this one time, man, I'm walking down Julian, and a fucking narc drives right by me. And I'm dirty, but I already know that he's gonna come back around. So I hit my shit, and of course he comes back around. Oh, and they don't find nothing. So they're so pissed at me that they didn't find nothing, and they knew I hid something. They put me in the backseat of the fucking car, bro, and they drove me all around 16th and all that shit, all them air streets, just talking shit. And it ended like after a half hour. It was Crater Face. If I know people are gonna know him. See, the narcs back in the day, they used to have nicknames. We all knew the narcs. This is when shit really was illegal. Like if you got caught using on the street, you're going to jail. You know what I mean? So anyway, and sales, shit, you're going to prison for a year. So you see the Hondos now, they go for one night with like multiple ounces of Fetty. Anyway, they dropped me back right off in the corner of 16th and Mission where all the fuck, that whole gang was. Handed me some piece of paper and said, thanks, Matt. Thanks. Shit. Thanks for the info. And, man, I'm out there in our car, and there's like 20 of these dudes are looking at me. I'm looking at the paper. It's like just some piece of paper with bullshit written on it. And it made them cops, just like out of Menace Society, I think, made it look like I was a straight snitch. So I got news the next day from my homie Malo, and he was always good to me. And he was in that gang, and he said, "Hey, you should leave, bro." So I still wanted to hustle and use, and put some money aside. So I immediately went to the TL, and um, I was living out of cars. It really depended on how the money went, and where do I go from here? So that was basically my experience in 16th. I spent like from 95 there to I don't know 2000s when the Heather Fong, the police chief at the time, she had this big meeting on the corner. She basically shut down, uh, all the Mexicans that were taking BART from the East Bay and coming right there in the morning and selling. I mean, there'd be 100 fucking addicts in line waiting for Mexicans to come off of a BART. But they ended up trying to kill me, man. A few years later, I'll tell that story later. But and one last thing about 16th and Mission is where I met Ponytail. Ponytail, he was a paisa. He was beholden to the to a big cartel in Mexico. He had a big family. His mom was still alive, like 20 brothers, sisters. But he was in the Mexican Special Forces anyway. He was selling dope. He was doing his thing out there on 16th, and he was a paisa, and he was the only dude they didn't the gang didn't tax. They tried to. He just would avoid it somehow. Anyway, I became really good friends with him, and that's Ponytail. And I'll talk more about Ponytail on my next story. Thanks, y'all.